Today I'm going to be showing you all how to transform the head unit of your 2007 or newer Saab 9.3 from looking like this into this. We're going to be doing that through the installation of a completely plug-and-play Apple CarPlay Android Auto unit from Whitson. Yes, this unit is going to be 100% plug and play, and it also looks very, very OEM, one of the best looking head units I've seen that fits these cars. So for those of you that have been looking for a good OEM looking solution for 2007 newer cars, buckle up because this is going to be the best one out there. But we'll talk more about this here in a minute. First, let's get the air vent out and the old head unit out so I can show you all what we need to do to make this thing work in the car. Removal of this unit is pretty straightforward. The air vent is held in by a series of tabs both on the top and bottom. Now on my 2003 9.3 where I've done the CarPlay unit in that, the ICM4, so if you have an older style 9.3 you'll want to check out that video for how to install an Apple CarPlay unit in your car. But in that car I have all these tabs shaved down so I can just pull the air vent straight out. Might consider doing the same thing in this car, but the best way to go about this is just kind of sticking some old credit cards or membership cards or things like that into here to get those tabs pressed down so you can begin pulling out the head unit. Don't pull on that too hard because I just broke this. So I'm gonna have to super glue that back on or figure out a way to fix that. There, you heard that press in. So now I have that corner out a little bit. So I'm gonna hold that where it is. Keep working my way down. The reason why we're using these kind of cards is because we don't want to scratch up the air vent or the dashboard. There we go. All 6 of those tabs are still intact, even though it sounded like we broke something, we didn't. Our actual head unit is held in by 2 little Torx bolts up here, and you can grab the head unit and lift it up over this little ledge right here and pull it out. Very simple. You'll see we have 3 connectors, 2 of them that look very similar and then a third one for the antenna, so we're gonna disconnect all 3 of those right now and then we'll have the old head unit out. Here's a better look at the Whitson head unit. You can see this looks extremely close to OEM. I have yet to see another unit that looks this close to the OEM unit. You'll see when we fit it in the car, it's going to look incredible. There are a couple little things you could argue aren't OEM. We can touch on that later. But for those asking, yes, again, this is plug and play. I'm about to show you that. Yes, the steering wheel controls will work. Yes, you can add a backup camera, subwoofer, etc. We're going to touch on all this later in more detail, but just to answer some basic questions you're probably having. If you're interested in purchasing this head unit, I'll have a custom link down below at the top of the description, and you can check it out, help support the channel. But thank you to Whitson for sending out this unit to install in the car. When you get the unit, you're going to see there's just a crap ton of wiring harnesses, etc., things that we need to hook up and figure out where the heck they go to. It's honestly a bit overwhelming for someone who's not super electrically inclined like myself. Now, in the kit, you'll also get a couple of instruction guides that has everything labeled, explains what they all do, and then as well as generally how to connect everything. So we're going to be following these instructions here. I was messing around with this last night. It's all pretty straightforward. I'm going to flip this on its back side very gently. So for example, we have a CAN bus box here that's specifically meant for our 9.3s. So that is going to plug into this harness right here. There are 2 factory radio plugs that you saw when you removed your factory radio. So these are 2 that are going to get plugged into the car. There's a big black plug. That's the most obvious one that's going to go into the back of the head unit, and that contains basically everything you see here all already connected, at least as it came in my kit. If it's not connected for you, again, these instructions right here will make it abundantly clear where it goes. So what I'm going to do now is just go through these one by one and make sure all these are connected up before we install it in the car. There's also a microphone here, an antenna, etc., just for Wi-Fi capability or 4G or 5G if you want to do that. I'm not going to bother with any of this stuff because I'm only going to be using it for CarPlay. So I'm mainly just going to be installing this microphone. So this 8-pin port that comes off these 2 red and white cables here goes into the 8-pin port on the back of the head unit. There's a couple of spare wires here that we're not going to connect to anything per the instructions. Then 9 and 12, we need to connect these RCA plugs together. So you have this big harness of tons of RCA plugs. You'll see there's multiple of each color, which can be a little confusing, but thankfully they label every single one of them. You can see this is aux in, right? The aux is going to work from factory. We don't need to install any of these aux ones to make the aux function work, because again, it is a brand new head unit. So you can see these are both labeled as front right and front left, so I just need to find the corresponding two right here for that. So here's audio out left and audio out right. And mine already came with these couple of 8-pin connectors already connected, but you'll want to do that if not. And then this big connector we want to connect to the head unit's 20-pin port. So there's a bunch of ports on the back of here. They're all different pin counts, so you can't mess it up, which is nice of them to do. And then the last thing we need to hook up is the antenna adapter. You can see the antenna port on the head unit right here, so we're probably gonna have to use one of these cable adapters to make it work in the car itself, but we'll mess with that here in a minute. Again, if you have a subwoofer or something that you wanna hook up, there's some more tools and things for that you can read about here. I'm just factory car, none of those upgrades. But there are two cables with USB-As and different pinned ports on them. So these are important because this is how I'm going to do my wired Apple CarPlay. Other set of instructions down here, you'll see 11 and 12 are those two ports. One of them is for a Saab and one of them is USB for the CarPlay. It's a little hard to tell on the instructions, but it looks like the USB one is 4-pin and the Saab one is 6-pin. So I'm going to untie this and plug in this one into the 4-pin connector. Then we come down to these three things, the microphone, the 4G antenna, and the GPS. I'm not bothering with these again because I'm going to be using CarPlay the whole time, but if you wanted that sort of stuff built into the head unit itself, go for it. I'm not gonna bother with that personally though. Routing the microphone is probably gonna take the most time out of anything here, but on this big bunch of RCA cables here, there is a black one specifically labeled mic, so you're gonna plug that in right there. This one I believe is if you're doing a reverse camera. I'm not doing a reverse camera because I see it's labeled camera and brake light, so you would wire this to the brake light for the reverse camera. But I think that is all we need. So let's take this head unit over to the car and start hooking things up. There should be three things that we need to reconnect to the car. First is our antenna. By the way, this is the antenna cable that we're going to want to use. You can see this one plugs into the factory input there, and then this is going to go right into the antenna port on the back of the head unit there. So that's one thing. Then we have both of our factory connectors right here. You'll see that they are ever so slightly different. They look the same at first glance, but they are ever so slightly different. So you can't mess that up. We're gonna plug those two in. As far as the wired CarPlay goes, I wanna feed this back behind the dash. And I think I'm gonna pull it out right back here. Right where my finger is up there, there is an opening that goes to the back of the dash, and I think I can squeeze this through that. Somehow get that back behind there. Might have to pull this ACC panel out, but let's just experiment and see what happens. Before I get too ahead of myself, I am going to just pop this out to route that USB. This is just held in by one little plastic tab. I'll put a picture on the screen from WIS of what it looks like. Super easy to pop both these out, takes about 10 seconds. Now I'm gonna be able to route this a whole lot easier and actually see what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna run this way back behind here where I can pull it down, can kind of reach back there with both hands and kind of touch your hands together and then pull it through, just like that. I'm going to plug our antenna in. I'm going to plug in the USB I just routed before I forget. Plug in the antenna to the antenna port on the radio, and then bring these two OEM connectors forward and see which one of these goes to which one. There's one, there's two. So that should be everything we need for this thing to run. What I'm going to do now is just throw all that back in there. Thankfully, this head unit is really thin compared to the factory one, so there's tons of room back there for all those extra cables. Put our ACC back in. The cable is coming out underneath this ashtray here, or the storage tray. Let's get our key. Let's hope this thing fires up and I didn't mess anything up. There we go, look at that. Is an interesting looking screen there, to be honest. There's a touch screen, of course.
Morning from KJZZ News in Phoenix.
There we go. All right.
In Valley traffic, we have
Pulled up NPR as the first station, but hey, we'll get that adjusted. Sorry to anyone that listens to NPR, that stuff puts me to sleep. But that works. You can hear right off the bat our sound quality is just as good as OEM. I'm going to shut up for a second.
Be Conscious. The council ousted Conscious following his election to the Salt River Project Board. Then a judge ruled last week that he must be.
So right off the bat, I can tell you sound quality is just as good as factory. I'm going to mess around with this a little bit off camera because I need to confirm CarPlay works and I use my phone to film. So I'll catch up with you all in a bit and then we'll finish this job up and go over some more details of the unit. I've actually went back and decided to hook up all this other stuff, even though we're not using it, just for sake of doing so, I guess. So I've labeled all these: GPS antenna, 4G antenna, subwoofer, and backup camera. Even though I'm not hooking them up, I'm still gonna install them in the car just in case, and so that way I don't just have these sitting and have no idea what they're for. So I'm going to do that now. Instructions are very clear on here where these go, so I'm just going to do it off camera. That is everything plugged in. I also shaved down these 6 tabs on the air vent, just that way removal in the future is way easier. We've got the car all back together, the kit installed. Let me show you all how I routed the microphone, as well as go through some of the features of this unit. I'll put some photos on the screen of how I routed the microphone. Basically remove the glove box here. There's 5 Torx to remove that. There's 1, 2, 3, and then 2 right down underneath. That pulls right out. Routed the mic down around through there, up through the A-pillar trim here and around. Then I pulled the dome light piece out here and mounted the microphone in there. And you can see there's a little grate right there. So the microphone is sitting right behind that. I had Tristan here to help me out just because he has the same exact unit, give me some tips on how he did his thing. Big shout out to him. I'll put his Instagram on the screen. He's got a really sick Turbo X. But he routed his in a similar way. We tested the microphone, called each other, and it sounds phenomenal. Let's look at this unit itself though. I mean, you're not gonna find anything more OEM looking than this. The fitment here is phenomenal. I mean, look at the gaps. They nailed these edges right here. This fitment is just phenomenal. So I am incredibly impressed with how this looks. It looks totally OEM. The only 2 things you can knock, one is the volume knob turning like this. It's a very Volkswagen thing. And then number 2 is the buttons are chromed instead of kind of black and silver like these. But honestly, when you look at it from here, you're never gonna even notice that. And I haven't noticed it at all so far personally. We can also adjust the color of this backlighting here. So I have it set to a green that matches incredibly well with the factory green. But here's all of our apps. This is how you can connect to Bluetooth. For Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you have to go to this TN Link app right here. As far as adjusting color, you click on this and this is where you can adjust that backlighting color. I'm not gonna mess with it now since I got it all set so well. There's just all these other apps. If you want to adjust your sound, for instance, for example, if I hit the equalizer button, look at all of these settings. You can just mess with these so much, and this is just part of the settings. So if you're really an audiophile, you could spend all day doing stuff like this. I'm going to go back to the default though, because I don't want to mess anything up. So in order to connect to CarPlay, I have to go to this T-Link 5 app, and it'll boot up almost instantly, connect to my phone. So it connected to my phone, shut off the video, but here we are in CarPlay. This works pretty well. Because I'm filming with my phone, it's really hard to go through a lot of the settings on CarPlay, but CarPlay works exactly as it should. Yes, your steering wheel controls all work, which is awesome, your volume. You can also use this to skip or go back on tracks on music. There's also an app in here called Steering Wheel, where it looks like you can specifically program buttons on the steering wheel to do certain things in the head unit. Not gonna mess with that, but it looks like it's really cool. There's so much customizability in here that it is way beyond anything anyone like me would need. I'm incredibly impressed with this. The sound quality sounds just as good as the OEM speakers or OEM radio. No complaints about that at all. I think it's really good, even up having the music up turned pretty high. Again, there is a backup camera possible for this as well. So if you want to do that, you can pair that to this. There's no Tech 2 that is needed to do this programming. As you saw, it is all plug and play, which is great. There are a few different options on the AliExpress website that you'll see. I went with kind of the mid-tier, the 4GB of RAM one. I don't think it's critically important, but for those of you that know more about that kind of stuff, you can probably make a more informed decision. Tristan said he had the top of the line model for his car. Speaking of AliExpress, this is obviously a totally legit head unit, a totally legit seller. I've seen lots of people put these in their 9.3s, and I can now personally vouch for it as well, so you got no issues ordering from them. The CarPlay is both wired and wireless. I've noticed it connects wirelessly automatically, but I still have the USB-C that I'm going to use that I can charge my phone with or connect wired if I want. So it's good to have just kind of an extra phone charger option. I am going to also get a black cable so that way it kind of blends in and is a little bit less obvious. The radio, of course, works as it should. You can set presets and other things if you want. Future me, before we end here, there are two quick things I want to touch on. First off is if you have a sort of buzzing noise or any sort of static from the radio, there is a product that you can order as an add-on to help resolve that. I noticed after driving the car that my car had a bit of a buzz, and so what I did is I bought these isolators. I'll link this in the description. You can get this on Amazon for less than $30. As you saw earlier in the video, there were 4 audio inputs we connected, then they're denoted by these red and white RCA cables. As you can see, I got 2 of these isolators. One plugs into the rear 2 inputs and the other one plugs into the front 2 inputs. So this is just an adapter that instead of connecting this wire to here directly, this just kind of goes in between that connection to isolate that audio and kind of, I guess, get rid of that staticky or buzzing noise that you might have. So I got 2 of those, completely solved that issue. So if you do have that issue, again, Amazon link below. Whitson has told me that they're working on a solution to that issue. But again, if you buy your unit, you have that issue, that's how you can solve it. The other thing that I want to talk about is how to set the theme, because I actually found a theme that looks pretty close to, I guess, a Saab OEM theme, and it's this green clock right here. So if you go into here, you go to theme, and you go under newest, it's just where mine happens to be. It's called timeline. So you can see there's a ton of options in here. You can do some pretty crazy stuff, as you can see, but that is the one that I found that looks most OEM, so that's what I've gone with. But with those couple items out of the way, let's wrap up this video. That's all I've got for today, guys. I am so happy to have this installed. It just totally modernizes the car. A good head unit, especially a good OEM looking one like this, is just really hard to beat as like a good bang for your buck mod for cars like these. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Again, I have a specialized link down below at the top of the description you can use to purchase this if you're interested. Can't recommend it enough. I am so excited to just go drive this car and use this head unit and just feel how much more modern it feels than using the Bluetooth transmitter I was. But that's all for today. Ollie and I are gonna head inside because it's a little hot out. Bud, do you have any last words for the video before we end? Oliver, do you have any last words for the video before we end? I think he wants to go play outside. All right, we'll see you all in the next video.
Take it easy.